Hey guys, welcome back to Your Story. As usual, we bring you some wonderful startups, and I've got with me Anushri and Ankur, who are the founders of UnFound. What does it mean, UnFound? Yeah.
Unfound, what does it mean? Well, what we try to do is Unfound is an AI engine.
It's an AI engine.
Yes, that
Okay.
helps fight misinformation. And misinformation, how we define it is it's a combination of fake news, partial information, as well as biased information.
Interesting. I think we're all suffering from fake news, especially whatever has happened in the USA.
Yeah.
They blame Russia. Unfortunately, they can't pinpoint who's done it. And we in the media, especially as journalists, we all suffer from biases, a lack of time.
Absolutely.
Here's a tool that ensures that you have the right perspectives, you as a consumer. So download that app. Pretty interesting. You need different opinions.
Yeah.
So you could say that it brings you opinions of different journalists on a single platform. Correct.
Right.
But most at the heart of it, it's an AI engine.
Yes.
Right. What does the AI engine do in this case?
So the AI engine is trained to basically dissect, the three aspects of misinformation. So it tries to dissect if the news is the authenticity of the news, if there are enough background in the news itself. Is it like confusing? So this is the second kind of aspect, and the third and a bit prominent one is that is the news biased? Like even if the content is correct, are there bias? So we don't claim to have some unbiased stuff. We say that if we perceive bias, we bring in the other side. So the engine does all these things.
So if you go to Unfound, you'll really understand that there's news,
Yeah.
and there's alternate news provided by you
Absolutely.
through other channels also.
Correct.
So the reader is informed, right?
Yes.
That's one. And the interesting part is today, how much of the news is really biased out there? Have you tracked it? Have you tracked any
See,
of
I
that?
mean, we would say that so there are two aspects to it. We have never seen a platform which we can, like unbiased is in some sense subjective, and other thing is that we have never seen a platform which adheres to, a
100% objectivity.
100% objectivity at all. They will bring in their perspective, some way or the other.
I think it is also to do with editors' bias as well, right? When you write, you have your own sort of information
Yeah.
already
Yeah, it's like an hypothesis. Like you have a lot of information biases,
Correct.
and that needs to be corrected.
Correct.
And there's another aspect. So it's not also the case, except some publications, that they will adhere to a very, a prescribed biases only. Sometimes they switch sides also. So you will never know.
Consciously or unconsciously
Yes.
also. Okay. And that you hope to correct, right?
We hope to correct. If that were the case, if there was some kind of party line only, then there's no need of AI, right? You would just said that Republic is only going to, publish this news. So contrary to popular conception, this is not the case. You will find, like we have seen on the same day, on the same publication, two completely different type of news.
Because it comes from different reporters, different thought processes.
Absolutely.
Authors,
Very
different
interesting.
journalists, yes.
So while we perceive a channel to be biased, they can have alternate
They can have.
viewpoints too.
Yes.
It's a very powerful idea. How did you stumble upon it?
So the idea came back in 2014, right? When there was like the entire one-sided sort of Modi wave running, and we were thinking, why are people not being informed at least on the other side? So ideas started coming during that, but when we saw a good surge in natural language processing algorithms, we thought that there is a scalable approach to solve a problem like this.
Right.
And that's when in late 2017, 17,
You
yes.
spent a good amount of time building this engine. Why is that?
So I think one of the reasons is that we were tempted to initially start in a more agile way, hire a bunch of editors and do that. But we said that if we do that, then we are kind of not actually bringing in something new. We believe that at least to some extent an automation is possible. The recent breakthroughs in deep learning especially has given rise to some kind of ability to make this problem more tractable than before.
I think you're different from fact check. So you want to tell
Yes.
the audience that. So
Yeah.
if your businesses, newsrooms wanting to use their tool,
Yeah.
they're not just fact check, because there are many fact check tools out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're different.
Yes.
Tell them how.
So we are different in two ways. Primarily, one is that we do more than fact checks. We do bias checks. We do context. Bringing in the sufficient context. And the other way is that we are heavily automated. So no automation is perfect. So, but
It's learning.
It's learning, but we don't. The hope is to algorithmically improve the
Quality of the
outcome, the
report.
quality of the
Reporting.
You have something to
I
add?
think it's a powerful idea for media companies. When you talk to media companies, what is their opinion Anushri?
Well, they've been quite, encouraging of the idea, definitely. And what they really like is if they could reduce on their editorial effort, because that's one, as a business, it's a very, very cost for them. Plus, manually, there are a lot of errors and things that,
Information gets
yeah.
missed out.
All of that should. So we would never say that we would eliminate editors, but we always say that we are their co-writers, that they can sort of use them to kind of increase their efficiency.
Think about it like this, guys. It's like a collaborative AI tool.
Absolutely.
It's like a
Yes.
human-machine collaboration.
Correct.
And it actually strengthens your newsroom.
Yes.
If you're an objective person out there wanting to, stay away from trouble, and I know a lot of newsrooms are biased. You can actually apply this tool to your teams and
Correct.
probably train your younger reporters better, possibly. But there are multiple business models apart from the B2C, which is free, right? You also have a SaaS API play for the B2B clients.
Yes.
How does
Right.
that work for you?
Well, we are currently working on a very strong use case for a renowned brand, and that is to do with how can we identify any fake news or any misinformation that has a potential to harm their brand.
Okay.
So it's a pilot that we're doing with this brand, and we're trying to see and scan entire web to see if there are any harmful
Content
news.
that can go viral.
Yes, that has potential
They
to
can
go
react
viral,
to.
and we could just alert them saying, this is the right time for you to take an action, and probably that can lead them to save a lot of money
You
as well.
also worked with a renowned UK media company. I mean, can you say out their name? And you did some POC with them, right?
Yes, so we were a part of a consortium during Rajasthan elections. This was being led by BBC. We helped them figure out misinformation in the during the assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan. And we were trying to help them how the media is playing different sides and what is right, what is not right, and all of this was being kind of floated via an Ekta News consortium, and there was a Twitter handle that we were running. So yeah, AI kind of helped us there a lot because
To understand how
obviously-
news is partial.
yes, how
Yes.
news is
That's how you
partial.
collected data to build UnFound as well.
So it was a learning experience for us, as well as we got to know that in what specific aspect are the problems with the news.
Fantastic, guys. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Actually, you're part of Axelor.
Yes.
Axelor is helped to do what?
Well, they've helped us in many ways. One definitely is the fact that we've been able to narrow down the business use cases very strongly. They come out in a very supportive way and putting out the right questions, which help us kind of introspect and answer a lot of things and go in the right direction. So it just accelerates the entire thing. Probably we could have learned it like in another 6 months time, but with them we've learned it.
You
like in
accelerated that.
Yes.
And apart from building all this in your free time, I know you're both married. How do you guys spend time? I mean, reading. What are you reading currently or getting inspired by?
I particularly, read across the subjects, and the most important thing in this particular arena, which I find fascinating, are the works of the books like James Gleick books, and the books by, the most important point is to read across the political ideologies. You can see that if in a particular topic you read articles, let's say from New York Times, and the same article from Washington Post, you'll see the difference, right? So most of the time, most of the cursory reading goes into this. And also I would equally stress upon that, a lot of my particular time also goes into, keeping up with the latest research in natural language processing specifically.
Nice.
So much has been going on.
Any papers you'd recommend?
I'm pretty fascinated by the recent powers of, what is referred to as embeddings, right? I mean, so embeddings are a way to convert words or text into numbers, right? So there has been actually a breakthrough in last couple of years, and we are fortunate to be active in this particular time. And that's the kind of power we are, and we are not just using those kind of late stage advances. We are in our own way trying to contribute also.
Nice.
And a little bit, and we hope to do more on this.
No, you will. And Anushri, what are you reading or getting inspired by?
Well, I think I've been like a startup person for almost 4 to 5 years now. So it's just been in my blood running all the time right now. So it's a lot to do with reading on the
That's it?
startups. Yeah.
And how to win, how to sell, and all that.
Correct.
Interesting. Are you both from business families?
No, she
I come
yeah,
from-
she
I
does
come
come
from
from.
business
family.
I don't come
Yeah.
from business at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So who does the selling? She does, I guess.
Well,
Right?
so
And you do the technical stuff.
yes, you can say that. But being in a sort of husband-wife relationship, a lot of things go sort of. There's no super clear demarcation. But yeah, more or less, she is the business and the product person, and I am more of machine learning, etc.
So you're giving her the upper hand, which is nice. And and you
Always.
said it on camera. Guys, go, but really cut the biases in your newsroom. I've suffered from biases, and I hope to work with UnFound through your story, of
That's
course,
great.
at some point of time. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you soon. Go download UnFound now.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.